You know, the older we get, the more we tend to look back on our lives rather than look ahead. Not because we've run out of hope, but because every morning we wake up, we feel something that younger people rarely notice. This body, this breath, this heartbeat, they're all gifts. And today, I want to begin our conversation with something very simple, yet something that becomes more profound with every passing year. Health is not just about muscles or medicine. It's about learning how to listen to ourselves. I remember one of my older patients. He was about 72, an Irish-American gentleman, funny, warm, always cracking jokes, telling me something that stayed with me for a long time. He said, "Doc, I've realized something. My body never yells. It always speaks softly. I'm just the one who refuses to listen." And you know what? When he said that, I froze for a moment, because it's true. Our bodies don't scream at us, they whisper. A little backache that comes and goes, a morning when breathing feels just a bit heavier, or sometimes simply the feeling that you don't enjoy the things you used to. Have you ever felt that way? That quiet sense that something isn't quite the same, even though you're still fine, still moving, still doing what you need to do. And you brush it off, telling yourself, "Oh, it's just age." But the truth is, our bodies rarely change overnight. They always give us signals. We just get too busy, or too strong, too independent, to admit that we might need to slow down and care for ourselves. I remember one autumn morning walking through the hospital hallway when I saw Mrs. Thompson, 68 years old, who had been diagnosed with pre-diabetes, but insisted she was perfectly fine. She said, "I don't feel anything wrong. I'm healthy. I still garden. I still drive to see my grandkids." But just a few months later, all the small signs she had ignored, feeling thirsty more often, feeling tired after every meal, legs going numb from time to time, those little things added up into something much bigger. And I'm telling you these stories not to make you anxious, but to let you know you're not alone. Everyone has moments when they misunderstand their body. Even me, a doctor, there were times I ignored my own warning signs, until I finally understood something important. Health is not only about treating illness, it's the art of listening. I want you to imagine something. It's early morning, sunlight is gently falling across the chair by your window. You place your hand on your chest and take one long, slow breath. In that moment, what do you notice? A steady rhythm? A sense of peace? Or maybe a little tightness, a little heaviness, something you've been calling nothing for too long. Just a few seconds each day like that, and you'll understand your body far more than you think. And the wonderful thing is, you can begin at any age. 50, 60, 70, it doesn't matter. What matters is the choice to live consciously, to care for yourself, to treat your body the way you'd care for a garden in your backyard. Gently, patiently, lovingly. Older adults in America are incredibly strong, independent, resilient, and that's something I deeply admire. But sometimes that same strength makes us forget that we also deserve rest, softness, and care. I've had so many patients in their 60s or 70s look at me and say, "I don't want to bother anyone." But here's the truth. Caring for your health is never a burden. It's a gift, one you give to yourself and to the people who love you. Today, we're going to go deeper into this topic. But before we continue, I want you to answer something gently, quietly, just to yourself. When was the last time you truly listened to your body? Not measured your blood pressure, not took your medication, just listened, just felt. If it's been a long time, then this video is especially for you. And I promise, what we talk about here won't be distant or complicated advice. They will be things you can apply immediately, through your breath, through your awareness, through small but powerful shifts in the way you treat your body. Because health, no matter your age, always begins with one simple decision: to listen to yourself. Now, I want to take you a little further into this conversation, a place where science meets experience, and where age becomes less of a limitation and more of a teacher. You see, one of the things I've learned after years of working with older adults, people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, is that healing doesn't start in the hospital. It doesn't start with pills or diets or exercise routines. It starts with awareness, a simple noticing, a quiet moment of honesty where you say to yourself, something feels different, and I want to understand why. I once had a patient named Robert, a retired high school football coach, tall, loud, full of life. When he first came to see me, he joked about how nothing could break the old bull. But then he would pause after climbing just a few steps. He waved it off, of course, said it was just age. But I saw the way he held onto the chair when he sat down, the way he rubbed his chest when he thought no one noticed. One day, after I gently pushed him a little, he finally said something that broke through his toughness. He said, "I don't want to find out what's wrong, Doc, because I'm scared of the answer." And if you've ever felt that way, please know you're not the only one. Fear keeps many people from listening to their bodies. Fear of diagnosis, fear of losing independence, fear of becoming a burden. But here's the truth I told Robert, and I want you to hear it too. Knowing doesn't take away your independence. It protects it. When you listen early, you act early. And when you act early, you stay stronger, longer. A few months later, Robert began taking short daily walks. Nothing extreme, just 10 minutes around his block. He started paying attention to how tired he felt after meals. He even learned to slow down and breathe deeply when his chest tightened. And he told me something I hope you'll carry with you. "Doc, the moment I stopped fighting my body was the moment I started getting better." So let me ask you this. When your body gives you a signal, fatigue, dizziness, aches that linger, sleep that doesn't refresh you, what's your first reaction? Do you brush it off? Do you wait for it to go away? Or do you pause and wonder? Because that pause, that simple act of awareness, can change everything. The power of small changes. People often think improving health requires something big, a new medication, a strict diet, long gym sessions. But the truth is your body changes most from the small things you do repeatedly. Let me share something from research that's beautifully simple. Studies show that adults over 60 who make small, consistent changes, like light walking, mindful breathing, or gentle stretching, can improve heart function, reduce inflammation, and even slow cognitive decline. Not extreme workouts, not impossible diets, just small actions done with intention. I remember a woman named Elena, 64, who told me she felt old for the first time in her life. Her joints hurt. Her mornings felt heavier. She began withdrawing from social things she once enjoyed. When we talked, I asked her to start with just one thing. Every morning, before coffee, sit for 1 minute and breathe slowly. 1 minute. 3 months later, she walked into my office with the brightest smile. She said, "I didn't realize how long I've been breathing like someone who was always in a rush, even though I had nowhere I needed to be." Her energy improved. Her sleep improved. Her anxiety dropped, not because of medicine, but because of awareness. Sometimes the simplest things bring the deepest healing. A walk, a stretch, a deep breath, talking to someone you trust, sitting quietly with your thoughts instead of running from them. The body remembers everything. Here's something most people don't realize. Your body remembers every habit you've built, good and bad. It remembers the years you overworked, the nights you didn't sleep, the meals you rushed, the stress you held in your chest. But here's the beautiful part. Your body also remembers how to heal, even at 60, even at 70, even at 80. You haven't lost your ability to improve. You've only forgotten it. I often tell my patients, your body is not breaking down. It is asking for your attention. And once you begin listening, truly listening, you'll notice things you didn't before. foods that make you feel heavy, emotions that tighten your chest, activities that drain you more than they used to, and moments that bring you energy, calm, and clarity. The goal isn't to become the person you were at 30. The goal is to become the healthiest, most aware version of the person you are today. The mind-body connect. Now, let's talk about something many people overlook: the mind. At this stage of life, emotions don't stay in the mind, they move into the body. Stress becomes pressure in the chest. Loneliness becomes fatigue. Anxiety becomes tight muscles and shallow breath. A man once told me, "My heart feels heavy, but not in a medical way." And I knew exactly what he meant. We often separate physical health from emotional health, but the truth is they're woven into each other like threads in the same fabric. If you feel burdened, your body carries it. If you feel unappreciated, your body tightens. If you feel alone, your energy drops. So I want to ask you gently, what emotion has your body been holding for you? And how long has it been carrying it? Sometimes the most healing thing you can do is simply acknowledge what you're feeling, without judgment, without trying to be strong. Because strength isn't pretending you don't feel pain. Strength is facing your truth. A new way to age. Aging is not a slow decline. It's a shift, a transformation, a time when life becomes quieter, but also clearer. And if you learn to listen, your body will guide you toward what it needs: movement, rest, connection, nourishment, peace. I've seen 75-year-olds become healthier than they were at 50. I've seen 80-year-olds regain balance, energy, and joy. I've seen people who felt hopeless discover that the body has more resilience than they ever imagined. But it always starts with one moment, a moment of listening. And that's exactly what we're exploring together today. You know, sometimes life doesn't ask us to do anything huge to create change. Sometimes all it takes is one quiet moment, one real pause, where we truly listen to our bodies and listen to ourselves. And in that moment, healing already begins. I've always believed that each of us carries a small inner light, a light that quietly guides us, even when we no longer feel strong enough to trust it. The years may have made your body a little weaker, your steps a little slower, and your heart a little heavier, but that light has never gone out. It's still there, waiting for you to notice it again. And if today, for whatever reason, you're feeling tired or worried about your health, I want you to know something very important. You are not alone. Many of my patients in their 60s and 70s have told me they just wish someone would remind them, gently, you still have so much to live for. You still matter. You still have meaning. So let me say that to you as well. Every breath you're taking right now isn't just a sign of life. It's a reminder that you still have time to change, to heal, to love, to care for yourself in a better way. It's never too late to begin again. It's never too late to choose yourself. If this video brought you even a little comfort or a little hope, then I'm grateful. My mission with this channel is to create a warm, gentle space for people in their middle and later years. People who have lived through so much and deserve to be heard, seen, and understood. So if you found this content helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button, so YouTube knows this is a message worth sharing. And if you know someone, maybe a friend, a sibling, or an elder, who might need to hear these words today, please share this video with them. If you'd like to talk, share your thoughts, or ask a question, I read every single comment. I would love to walk this journey with you. And if you want to keep receiving videos about healing, health, peace, and the beauty of life after 50, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.